So we've come down to go to the seaside today, and the weather is shocking. The weather's absolutely shocking. You can probably hear the rain on the van at the moment. I'm sat waiting at the moment. A little bit of a van video. We've not done a van video for a little while, have we? But I've got me lunch. Stopped at the petrol station. Percy Pigs. Colin the cat. Speaking of which, Colin the caterpillars. Right, I've got a complaint. That ain't no caterpillar. Tasty, balanced lunch. There's a lot of stuff going on with the stadium, right, at the moment. And I think I touched on it in the last couple of days, even though I've been talking about other stuff as well. But what I didn't discuss was Karen Brady and the sort of car crash interview she did yesterday. Now, I'm not going to do a video all about that because I just don't think it's worth it. And quite frankly, I'm sort of sick of moaning, really. But look, suffice to say, I didn't like it. I sort of touched on it. I've just recorded earlier on this morning. I just recorded the preview with Gio, and it did have a little mention of the Karen Brady stuff. She just seems so detached from reality. She really does. I can't really add anything to what Gio put on his video yesterday, but he had it absolutely right in everything he said. He was completely spot on. I don't think that she's trying to trigger the West Ham fans. I don't think people saying that she's trying to gaslight the West Ham fans. I don't think she's trying to do that. I just think she's trying to appeal. I always think the club do this. They almost put their press and their propaganda, they almost put it out there so it reaches non-West Ham fans. And I don't know why they do it. They're almost like they want to. It was on Sky Sports, the podcast. It's almost like they want to sound good to the people that watch Sky Sports. They want to sound good to the people that listen to Talk Sport, and they might swallow it because they're not going to have the sort of knowledge of West Ham that we've got. They're not got a day-to-day experience. I think anybody that's as an away fan that's maybe been to London Stadium, they would probably understand and they would probably concur. But anyway, there you go. I don't know why they do it. I'm sure myself and Gio will have a chat about it. I don't want to spend any more time talking about the stadium now. I'm sort of done with it for now. And plus, I'm on a sugar high. I'm in a good mood now. It's really the Jonathan David and Angel Gomes stuff, which I want to discuss. But we'll get on to a couple of other bits and pieces as well. Look, we don't stand any chance of signing Jonathan David. I don't know why people are still running the story. Well, I do. You run the story, and you get clicks and so on and so forth. That's how the internet works, and that's how advertising on the internet works. I know that better than anyone because what we do is what we do. But it's just an absolute non-runner. What I did find out though is we had a really good opportunity to sign Jonathan David, and we had the opportunity to sign him not last summer but the summer before, and we were offered him for 20 million, but we said no. So it would have been just ahead of Moyes' last season, basically. We said no. Now, whether we said no, whether the club said no, Moyes said no, Stuyton said no, I don't know. I don't have a clue, but we had a chance to sign him. Now, we are apparently interested again, but we are so far down the list. I just found it interesting that we had been offered him for 20 million. But he's one of those players that we've just been perennially linked with. We're always linked with this guy, aren't we? And it looks. He scored something. He scored more than a goal every other game for Lille. So he's played 200 odd games. He scored over 100 goals. I couldn't see the exact ones, but I'm not far off the statistic there. But I do find we're very Johnny come lately, aren't we? By bidding now, because apparently a load of clubs have submitted offers for him. He's highly likely to go to Barcelona. Arsenal have submitted offers. He's free in the summer. He can sign a pre-contract agreement in much the same way as we've done. Slightly different calibre of player, but in the same way that we've done with that Daniel Cummins from Celtic. You can negotiate with them now. You can sign the pre-contract. They join in the summer. But Barcelona, Arsenal, Juventus, I've heard both Milan clubs, Borussia Dortmund. And it is a little bit unrealistic. It's like we often do this. We'll go and bid for a player when we've got no chance of getting them, right? Now, we might have had a chance, 18 months ago. We might have had a chance. He was offered to us, which would suggest we would. But his representative's not going to take one look at West Ham now. Why would he? If you go Barcelona, if you go Arsenal, Dortmund, Real Madrid, Manchester United, whatever, any of these clubs, he wouldn't take one look at West Ham. And not to talk about a stadium, but it's just we sometimes just don't seem to understand our place in the pecking order. We don't understand that things move. At the time to do that, and I said this at the time, The time to strengthen is actually when you're at the top. And we are so bad at this stuff. And I've said this continually. It goes back to that time when we didn't get a striker. Yes, we got Jesse Lingard and that went very well. There's an opportunity to strengthen then. There was an opportunity when we could have won that Europa League, right? And it wouldn't have taken much because it was tight against Frankfurt. And I do think the referee didn't do, we were unlucky with the refereeing. I think there was some, a bit of silly play really from Aaron Cresswell as well. With some red cards we didn't need to get. I think UEFA weren't great by letting the fans charge the pitch, and there was a lot of stuff that conspired against us. But I still think the games were tight, and I don't think it would have taken much in that January transfer window to have strengthened. That's when we should have strengthened. I think the other thing it would have done, it would have convinced Declan Rice to stay. So I think we're very bad and very poor at strengthening when we're on top. And we had the opportunity to do it as well after Prague, right? So after Prague, because we won the Conference League, we are then back in the Europa League. And we were still in it, and we get to January. So this is a year ago. We get the opportunity, and we clearly had money because we were going to go and spend money in the following summer. But for whatever reason, it doesn't matter, and there's no point dredging up old stuff about Stuyton or Moyes again. But we didn't do it. All we did was got Calvin Phillips. You all know how that went. Not very well at all. So we have this inability to, when we're at the top, to strengthen, or when we're doing well, to strengthen. So you can understand why 18 months ago, Jonathan David would have been interested in joining West Ham. The landscape in West Ham was very, very different at the time. We were looking good. We looked like we were a team that were qualifying for Europe every year. And whilst us as fans don't particularly like the stadium, I do think there's a situation whereby when players are brought over, I think it's a case of don't show them the training ground, but take them to the stadium. They're sort of used to it. A lot of the players on the continent are used to it. There are a lot of clubs on the continent who play in sort of revamped athletic stadiums, or stadiums that I say about the rain. I don't know how much the microphone's picking up. Stadiums, that are far away from the pitch, basically. And I think they're sort of used to it. There's a lot of big clubs who do, in fact. And I think they don't see that. So I think the London Stadium, I think if you were to go to the London Stadium and you're not using transportation, it's funny, I still wouldn't talk about it, but you'll understand what I'm saying. I think if you're just going to come in by the players' entrance and come through the main lobby and come through the main hall and then you walk out, you probably look at it and you think, wow, this is big. You'd be looking at that thinking, I'm joining a big club. So I don't know if Jonathan David came over for talks or anything else, but I could totally understand why someone like him would walk into the London Stadium and think, yeah, okay, it's a big club. They're in Europe. That was our place. So that's when you strengthen. And we almost don't know the time to strengthen, but we also don't know when we've slipped out of significance. And I do think to a large part there was an insignificance now, and to go when you're 16th in the Premier League and you're looking pretty crap and with no chance of European football, why would we think that going to try and get somebody like that is going to be remotely interested when he can go to Barcelona or any of the other clubs I mentioned? Now, I know what the answer would be. Some people say, oh, it's so as we can say we tried. But West Ham aren't saying this. On this instance, West Ham aren't leaking this news. It's being leaked from the other side. So West Ham are not saying, oh, we tried to get Jonathan David. That's not it. There's not even any claim to that. We actually have submitted interest with his agents. And I think the other thing that is, which goes hand in hand with it, is obviously Angel Gomes. And the reason that you've got to look at Angel Gomes is because he's at Lille and he's also on a free. The difference is we do have a genuine chance of getting him if we were just to bid the correct amount. He's representatives, done business with West Ham before, but as I mentioned in the summer, we've not done well with the negotiations because Sullivan's actually stepped back from negotiations. Obviously, Tim Stuyton's gone, and we hired a third party to go and negotiate, and it's been completely and utterly unsuccessful. And he's a good player, and not only is he a good player, I think he's a good player that really suit the way that Graham Potter seems to want to play. He's an England international, yes. I mean, he's been capped, what, twice, 3 times? So he's not trying to sign Jude Bellingham here, but he's a promising player. He's a good player. He's not on particularly high wages, Lille, but you've got to go and increase his wages. So you've got to go and offer him a good wage. He's on a free transfer. He's probably worth 20 million quid, so you've probably got to say to him and his representatives, here is 10 million quid to carve up between you. And then here's your, whatever, here's your 100 grand a week, or whatever. You're saving a lot of money anyway, right? You're saving a lot of money because normally you'd have to pay the transfer fee and the signing on fee. You're basically saving yourself, well, you're saving yourself 10 million, which has got to be a good thing. That's heavy, that rain, isn't it? Let me turn, I don't even see it. I've got to tell you, I don't know if you see that van in front of me there, right? That van, you probably can't hear it over the rain, but that van's been parked there. He is so loud, right? He's got like an internal like intercom system, like a Bluetooth thing. It's so loud I can hear him and the person he's speaking to. I can hear it really loud, really, really loud. So anyways, quite an impressive intercom system, really. It's like a PA system, never mind intercom system. Yeah, sorry, rain's really loud. Yeah, so I think we've got a real genuine chance of getting Andrew Gomes, but we won't. We won't. And I've been told by a football agent, West Ham's offer is 1,000,000 miles away, nowhere near 1,000,000 miles away. So again, you think, well, why bother? If you're not going to actually go for it, why bother? He's not going to come for nothing. We're lucky enough that he's available for nothing on a free transfer. But you're going to get a free transfer and he's not going to say, oh, you know, like the orphan Oliver, oh, please, sir, can I have some more? All right, governor, I'll take 25 grand a week. It's just not going to happen. Not for an international player who's played Champions League football. You can absolutely forget it. So I just think it's just frustrating to hear these. It's not their transfer rumours. I think if it's transfer rumour is us being linked with whatever Sesko at Leipzig or whatever the case may be. Pick your player. That's unrealistic. It's not that, because they're not true. These are transfer rumours they're rumours of interest which are true. We're making approaches for these players and we don't stand a bloody cat in hell's chance. We just either we leave it too late in the case of Jonathan David or in the case of Angel Gomes. We just don't pay the going rate. Very, very frustrated. Anyway, I'm going to skedaddle now. I'm going to eat another Colin the Caterpillar. Looks like I'm going to be stuck here for a little while. Honestly, we're right near the seaside, and there's no. I think I could actually climb in the sea and be drier than I would be if I got out and walked around this van at the moment. It is. I don't think you can see. I don't know. See? Not nice. Not nice. Gonna get splashed. Anyway, cheers for tuning in. I'll catch you next time.